Well, let's get this party started.
Welcome to Dicejunkies. I'm Xenodamus. I'm here with
you.
And on Skype.
Bloodaxe.
All right. Let's get started. Let's see. Starting off, we have Nintendo. Oh, Nintendo in the news. I mean, we talk about Sony and Xbox so often. I think last time we were talking about Nintendo, they were basically saying they weren't going to do like Microsoft and Sony buying things.
Oh, we're bragging about it, going like, they got what they need. Nintendo's like, we're not going to get all this buying game companies.
But today they're in the news because they bought a company.
And by the way, just to let you know, though, how low tier Nintendo is in this race, like both me and Bloodaxe's first action when Xeno popped it up is, who's SRD? Like nobody knows.
Well, and that's the thing. It's a development studio. They don't tend to be on the front end of the games that they work on. They tend to help. They've helped with a lot of Nintendo's games. Like they've helped with The Legend of Zelda. They helped with Super Mario. Stuff like that. They don't really have like a lot of titles. And honestly, I joke about Nintendo saying they weren't going to buy a company. But they did leave it open for, well, unless it makes sense. And this does make sense because it's just a company they've been working with for years and years anyway.
Actually, I just realized why they did it. I will now defend them. They bought it so that Sony and Microsoft don't buy it.
Well, yeah.
Now think about it. That's why they bought it. They were like, because, that is the kind of, that's something Sony would do. But I don't think that Microsoft would. I don't think Microsoft is buying its companies to fuck with anybody. I think they're buying their companies to boost their brand. Whereas Sony's been known to try to pay off other people's companies. I mean,
they basically did say it here in this statement. They said, Nintendo said in the statement that acquiring SRD will, quote, serve to strengthen the management base of SRD and secure the availability of software development resources for Nintendo.
Because if this is the one,
so basically, we bought it so nobody else would, and we'd have the resource.
Well, look at the titles they helped on. It's some of Nintendo's big boys.
Oh, yeah.
Mario and Zelda.
Yeah, Animal Crossing.
So they were like, oh, yeah. Because like I said, Sony is notoriously aggressive for trying to go buy stuff out from under you, pay companies off to make your game later, pay companies to not give you a character. Like, I don't think Microsoft would have bought SRD. I'm sorry. I know I'm a Microsoft fanboy, but I don't think they'd have bought SRD. I can see Sony doing it. Because Sony has little standards. I see them going like, let's go screw it Nintendo. Yeah. Whereas Microsoft would look at SRD and be like, because SRD's only made games for Nintendo, they have no reason to buy it.
This is also a very small company anyway. It's not... it wasn't a huge company. It was a small little side company. So, where I make fun of Nintendo saying they weren't going to buy companies, I do actually see why they bought this
strategically. I now get it. I mean, a good example is.
Plus, it was probably already in the works when they said that because this is apparently finalizing April 1st.
Oh yeah, so they probably are in the process. Well, also because I ain't gonna miss a chance to take my shot at Sony. Also, I don't trust Sony because look at the example. Microsoft buys big game companies, and the first thing Sony does is go, you gonna let us still get the game, right? And all sweet. Then they go buy Bungie, and they like, yo, we bought your Microsoft, and I'm just like, you're like that worst kid on the playground that's always begging, but the one day he got the chocolate milk, he talking shit, and you're just like, you're such a little punk. Cause like that's just the attitude of Sony and Sony play like gamers is just wild.
The guy who's always bumming a cigarette, but the one time you need a cigarette,
I don't know, man. The cloud, and you just look at him like, really? You know what I'm saying? No, not on the playground. I wasn't smoking on the playground.
I was.
We know. So I just had to throw that out. That if there was a company that would go after a company that only works at Nintendo just to screw with them, it'd be Sony.
Yeah,
it would. Because like I said, and I like the way Microsoft was nice about it. Like, you get the Elder Scrolls probably. You'll get the Call of. You'll probably get it. But Sony gets this thing, and they're just like, we got Destiny, sucker. And then over here, you got WoW and Blizzard. You got Diablo and Nintendo's. But Microsoft going like, are you talking? You sure you won't do this? I'll cut your whole gaming flow off, man. Like I just want the head of Microsoft to come out and just be like, say something, say one more thing, see what your game is. Like.
Blood Axe, you have anything to say about Nintendo acquiring SRD? I know you have a Switch. You seem to be a Nintendo fan, so.
Oh yeah, I think I've had every single Nintendo console, everything from the Wii to the Wii U to the Switch, even the GameCube. I think the question I would have is why would they acquire this partner which they worked with allegedly for decades? The only I could think of is trying to rack my brain about it is either A, there's some projects they really want them to focus on, or B, they've been paying them these consulting fees or these other project fees for so long, they figured it'd be cheaper to go ahead and just purchase the company and bring everything in-house. But I just don't see the need for that kind of move unless there's something that they really need their help on exclusively, or it's gotten to the point where, you know, from a financial perspective, it makes sense to bring them in-house and then maybe cut out some of the fat that comes along with it, but have them working on more games. Because as a Switch fan, some of the hardcore games that make Nintendo fun, I just haven't seen. It took them forever to get an actual Metroid game, and I haven't really seen anything else other than the Mario Kart and Smash. When we got the Mario Brothers games, but as far as the hardcore games that we grew up on, they're kind of light. They're using more, you know, multi-console games. But there's a select few, and even you guys say the last Zelda game was meh. So we need to have some better development, and maybe that's their plan. I'm kind of curious to see what will happen with this eventually in the end.
Well, let me comment on that. Breath of the Wild was a really good game. May not have been my absolute cup of tea. It was a good game, but you are right that I've noticed this habit, and you tell me because you've had all the systems, so I'm talking specifically with Blood Axe here. But yeah, when it comes to putting out their games, they're big ones. Like you said, the Super Mario game, not the Mario Kart and the Mario Golf, but like Super Mario Odyssey, Super Mario World, Breath of the Wild, the Metroid game. Doesn't it seem like you dang near never get more than one a console? Like, it's so rare to get 2 generations in the same console.
Well, we're getting 2 Zeldas.
How long's that been, though? They could have put out another dang Nintendo console since then.
Yeah.
Weren't we talking about this like 3-4 years ago?
I think the Nintendo had 2 Zeldas. The Super Nintendo I think only had 1. Nintendo 64 had 2 Zeldas. GameCube had 1.
Maybe. And GameCube had Metroids. They had Metroid Prime and Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. The next Metroid came out on the Wii. And then the Wii U didn't even get one, unless you count Pinball, which I don't count that as a Metroid game. So yeah, I mean, they've been very light in the lightweight when it comes to their exclusives, which is why you don't quit.
Well, when you consider that these are their prime sellers, you know, their biggest franchises, and I get that they try to go for quality, and usually, not counting Metroid, each entry has been known for quality. Being really good when it comes out. But I'm just commenting on the fact that, like, you know, like you said, I was agreeing with you. I was actually supporting your concept of they're very few and far in between. Because
I mean, their quality's been iffy on a lot of their main franchises. I mean, even Mario had that iffy stage for a while.
Which one? The Super Mario World, the later Super Mario World, the Super Mario 2, Odyssey were all really good.
Yeah.
The Zelda games, Wind Waker and all that were really good. And I'm not talking the offshoot, the side games. I'm talking about the main interest.
I didn't care for Mario 3D or which was I think the N64 one.
Really? I thought wait a minute. Do you mean Super Mario 64?
Or maybe
Super Mario
is
considered
64.
one of the
I didn't
biggest
care
Mario
for it.
games. It's considered groundbreaking.
Yeah,
wow.
I didn't think it was that great.
Yeah, I guess you didn't. How'd you feel about Ocarina of Time?
I liked Ocarina of Time. I
like
like
it.
Zelda.
That's a check, you know.
But I mean, Zelda went downhill for a while. I didn't really care for I think it was Wind Waker and.
I am not a cel-shaded fan, but they were still decent games. But I will admit that it was a odd.
You know, and like you said, Metroid went down for a while. Of course, I'm not a big fan of Paper Mario either. But
look, what did I say, man? Super Mario RPG, Paper Mario's the knockoff. It is not a sequel to the games to me.
No. But I mean, that's part of Mario. And so, I'm just saying that each one of their major franchises has had a downtime that in which it didn't do so well. Now, they've been coming back like since the Switch, other than the Zelda that came out with the Switch that I didn't care for. Most of the things that have been hitting the Switch, they've been hitting right.
Oh no, Odyssey was a major comeback to you talking about busting in like a goddamn boom. Mario bust on the scene hardcore with Super Mario Odyssey.
They hit the nostalgia while still being sleek with the new Metroid.
I actually prefer Twilight
that was
Princess
fun. That was a fun game.
So,
yeah, no. Dread was a lot of fun. It had a lot of new mechanics that were kind of quirky. But I will tell you what, there's some challenges in there that will make the best gamer frustrated. There's a couple of components I just couldn't get to because I couldn't keep the silver shine going. Yeah. So yeah, but the parry mechanics, the fleecings because you had to avoid the AIs that are running around. So no, it was a lot of fun. But it was nostalgia, but it was updated. It was modernized.
But anyway,
and the story actually made a lot of sense.
Yeah. But anyway, as far as buying SRD from the one sentence quote we got from them, serve to strengthen management base of SRD and secure the availability of software development resources. It makes sense to me. Now, especially the serve to strengthen management base, because a lot of these smaller development companies have been having some issues with COVID and all that stuff. So they may have actually also just been having financial issues as being a smaller contract development company,
Which makes them vulnerable to being purchased by the bigger companies. So, I mean, I think they're protecting their developer.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, Nintendo does so much in-house. I don't know how many developers they work with. It could have been a horrible blow to Nintendo to lose SRD if, they don't have a lot of, because they really don't. I mean, let's be honest, Nintendo doesn't work with a lot of people. They're very insular.
Well, no, like this mentions, their last acquisition was a year ago, and that was they purchased the Luigi's Mansion 3 developer, Next Level Games. So
you know how small a company is when they mention only one game.
Yeah,
they're known for this one game that I didn't even know there was a Luigi's Mansion 3. I knew there was a 2. I didn't even know there was a 3.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you hand off this small company and you basically say, "Hey, make the third iteration of this game. We have 2 examples for you already.
Yeah, make this. Nobody's paying attention.
All right,
it's really dark.
Well, we've run over quite a bit, so let's wrap this up.
There's so much blood. It's got a lot of blood. I'm feeling a little sick.
Oh,
there's
all right.
About it.
Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to check out Dicejunkies.com to find links everywhere we are online. Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Go to YouTube. Be sure to like and subscribe there so you can see our latest videos as they get posted. Also, we do live game streams throughout the week, and every Sunday at 3:30 Central Time, we do this live show. Now, next week, going to go ahead and give you a heads up. We may or may not be able to have a live show next week. We will be down at CoastCon. I'll probably try to do something live, maybe from my phone on the floor. But we'll see what happens. If you can make it, come down to the Gulf Coast and hang out with us at CoastCon. We'd love to see you. And all right. And as every week,
we hope you enjoy.
Just a player, just a player, just a player, play the damn game.
Bloodaxe, do you have anything to say about Facebook before we, I guess, wrap it up?
Facebook sucks. I don't use Facebook. I have no interest in Facebook. As far as I'm concerned, Facebook can rot in hell.
All right.
I feel that way about Twitter.